Hey guys, welcome to Mr. Smith's Kitchen. I'm Brian, Mr. Smith, kitchen, although we don't always come from the kitchen. Sometimes it's the garage, sometimes it's the basement. But it's Wednesday, we're cooking dinner. It's a late dinner, and we're actually doing pizza, so you're probably going to see this video kind of late. But it's been a busy day. I mean, we took down outside Christmas decorations today. We were making major progress out in the garage, which you'll see the video, well, at least the first part of the video, which is going to be long enough. Tuesday, I'm doing 3 different things out in the garage, and I got stage 1 done of the garage revamp, and that was just the first set of shelves. I got a second set of shelves to build, potentially a third set, and then we're going to start setting up stuff so that way we can start working on the cabinets for the basement. It's a never-ending process, and it's not even a true remodel of the garage. We won't do that until we buy the house. So that being said, tonight's dinner, I thought we'd do pizza. Even though I work for work in the pizza industry, there's just something really special about doing a homemade pizza. And this one, we do our dough from scratch. We have a dough recipe. I actually have a couple dough recipes, but I'm not going to use either of them. We're going to try a new one tonight. But they're all kind of the same. When it comes down to, like, when you want a thicker crust versus a thinner crust, I mean, now there are different thin crust versus thick crust recipes, but in general, it's how long do you let your yeast proof, or let your dough proof when you set it out to proof. Let it sit and proof, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in just a moment. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Glad you stopped by. Glad you found me, and hope you gained something out of my channel. If you're returning, hey, thanks for coming back. It means I'm doing something right. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below us. Yeah, thumbs up, thumbs down are, awesome. Not necessary, but awesome. The notification bell, of course, which is right next to the subscribe button. That'll let you know when my newest videos come out, or new videos come out. And if you're so inclined, comments always welcomed. Just be respectful with them. You don't have to agree with me. You can, completely disagree with me. Just think before you type it out. We have all age groups in our community, and we try our best to all be good neighbors. So that being said, this dough here, it takes a minute, but it's a little bit of work with the practice and patience. So let me get the camera down to the food processor. We are going to use a food processor tonight. There are recipes out there where you can do it by hand. This recipe calls for a food processor. I have one, so we're going to use it. I'm going to use the old food processor, our battery operated one. It's awesome, but I don't know if it has the horsepower to do quite what we needed to do tonight. So we're going to use this processor. Okay, so we got the big food processor up there. The first thing we're going to need, these ingredients list is kind of weird, but if you have a scale, that's awesome. Dough it's like baking. You want to be as precise as possible with it. But the first thing we're going to need is 2 cups plus 2 tablespoons of flour. The recipe calls for bread flour. I don't have bread flour, so we're just going to use regular flour, and that's okay. We're looking at, they're wanting the glutens that are in the regular flour, but we're also going to add instant yeast to this. So it's not going to hurt to use regular flour. It just doesn't have quite the gluten in it. So, and this is 11 ounces if you're using a scale. Like I said, with doughs, you want to be accurate on your measurements. So 2 cups, 2 tablespoons, or 11 ounces of flour. All right. Get that blended in there. And I shouldn't have to say it, but be careful if you stick your hands in your food processor. There is a blade down there, and it's really sharp. The next thing we're going to need to put in here is, hold on. I think it's 3/4 teaspoon. Yep. 3/4 teaspoon of salt. Pop that in there. And then we will need 1 1/8 tablespoons of instant yeast. Okay, or rapid rise yeast. Looks just like that. And we're just going to put that in there. Okay, now if you're just using regular old yeast, put it in a little bit of warm water first and let it sit for a few minutes. You'll see it starts to bubble. That means it's ready. All right, so next thing, all we have left, I mean, this really is just the quickest dough ever. We're just going to put our lid on, pulse this. If you, oh, we got to plug it in. Those that are new to the channel, I don't plug any of my equipment in until the very last minute. We have small hands running around here, and we don't want somebody swinging by here when I'm not looking and turning something on. It could hurt them, it could hurt me, it could, in this case, throw flour everywhere, so I don't plug anything until the very last minute. We're going to pulse this a handful of times. We're just looking to get that mixed up a little bit. All right, got that mixed up, about 5 or 6 times maybe. And then we're going to add a tablespoon of olive oil, okay? And yeah, we're just going to put that in there, which is 5 grams if you're using a scale. Put that in there, and then we're going to turn this on, and as I turn it on, we're going to put in 3/4 cup of water, all right? Now, you want your water right around 110 degrees. Even if it's room temperature, it's fine. It could just mean that your dough needs to take a little longer to proof. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this on, all right? And I'm going to put my water in here, and as I'm pouring my water in there, after it's all in there, I'm going to let this run for about 45 seconds till it forms a dough ball. All right, we're into a dough ball. I don't know if you can see it or not. Hold it up there so you can see it. Yeah, and it's not quite, we're not quite done yet. We're going to let this rest for about 2 minutes. And then after it rests for 2 minutes, we're just letting it relax, hang out. It's been working hard. That yeast is just, whew, it's tired. So it needs to rest for a couple minutes, along with those glutens. And then after that, we're going to turn it back on and let it go for another 30 seconds. Okay, I let it rest for 2 minutes, and then I blended it again. I processed it again for 30 seconds. Now all we got to do, we're pretty much done. I mean, as far as making the dough goes. So we're going to get it out of here. This unplugged. And give me 1 second. I know it smells like dough. So dough is almost always primarily just flour and water. Yeah, that's a basic dough. It's just flour and water. Yeah, that'd be how you make bread, so to speak. We'll get our little pieces of dough out of here. And it shouldn't be horribly sticky, but somewhat sticky. All right, we get that out of here. I'm going to flour the countertop. All right, now, you want to make sure your countertop's clean. Yeah. Uh-huh. Right. I'm sorry for being loud. You're being loud too. So we'll put a little bit of flour on here. Get that like that, and then we're gonna knead this for about a minute. All right, and that's all we have to do is knead it for about a minute. And we're just looking to get it kind of soft and going, but we're really working those glutens out. Is all we're doing. All right, and we're gonna, get it kneaded.
Sarah, did you?
All right, we're gonna form that into a ball. You don't have to knead it a lot, but you want to give it a good start. Okay, so we got it formed into a ball, and then you can use olive oil, cooking spray, whatever you got. We're going to take it, we're going to spray our bowl down. If you don't have a vegetable spray or an olive oil spray, you're fine. You can just do that. And then we're going to take this, we're going to coat the oil on it, all right, that's in the bowl. That'll just help it to not stick. Give it another little spray there. There is that. You want to make sure you're coated good with oil. Then we're going to take some plastic wrap or saran wrap, or I don't know really what they cling wrap.
Cling wrap, plastic wrap.
Yeah, cling wrap, plastic wrap. Saran wrap is a name brand. Oh, right, there is that. Yeah, it's kind of like Kleenex. You know, everybody calls a tissue a Kleenex, but it's really just a tissue. We're going to cover this. We're going to set it in a warm environment, or just leave it right here on the countertop, or however, for about 45 minutes. 45 minutes to an hour. We're looking for it's about double in size, or at least close to it. Now, here's where it can vary. And we kind of learned this on our own with our pizza crust. If you don't let it sit its entire time, you just get a thinner crust. It's pretty much what we have found out making our own pizza crust over the last few years. And this recipe isn't a whole lot different than our pizza crust recipe, so I can't imagine it being different. This recipe calls for an hour and a half for total time, but we're going to let it go for about 45 minutes because we like a thinner crust. I am going to put this in the oven, all right, just like this. And I'm going to turn the oven light on and just let it sit in there. That'll bring the temperature up to about 100 and change, you know, right around 100 degrees with the light on, and it'll help this to rise a little quicker. All right, so when it gets done rising, we'll move on to the next step. All right, so we let our dough proof for, it actually turned out to be about an hour. And it didn't quite, I mean, it doubled, pretty close to double in size. Let me get you back down here to the counter. So I already did one. Abby and Chris are putting it together right now. This recipe makes 2 doughs. So we're gonna just put that into, I used half of it. Here's the other half right here. We'll take some flour, put it on the counter. Just like last time. And we're gonna roll it out, okay? Like I said, this goes into a cast iron skillet, but you still want to roll it out to go into the cast iron skillet. So take our dough, put it right there, and we're gonna start forming it with our hand. You know, and now if it starts to bounce back on you, just throw a towel over it and let it sit for about another 5 minutes, and it'll be fine. You just want to get it going, but you want to make sure your counter's clean and floured. And then we're just going to take our rolling pin and we'll roll this out just like we would a pie crust. You know, it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. You know, it's artesian. So which artesian means that it's handmade. It's, you know, not made by a factory. See, if it's not a perfect circle, it's okay. But you want to get it out to whatever size cast iron you're using. You know, I'm using my 10-inch cast irons. Yeah, well, actually they're 11-inch, but well, the bottom of the pan's 11-inch. So we'll get this rolled out to about that size. So they're making the pepperoni and cheese one as we speak, and then we are going to make the all the way, you know,
Okay, that's good.
one right here. All right, I think we are in good shape. So the next thing we want to do is grab our cast iron pan, and we're going to pour some more olive oil in there. And we want to, yes, ma'am. Okay. Well, as soon as the oven beeps, we can put it in the oven. So while you're doing this, you'll want to preheat your oven to 500 degrees. It's, for most ovens, it's the highest it'll go. You know, if you have self-cleaning mode on your oven, it's 500 degrees. So the oil is really good for the cast iron. So what we'll want to do is move our dough. Now your dough is really pliable. It's not like a pie crust in that aspect. Yeah, with pie crust you can
Daddy will put it in.
you can easily tear your dough. That you don't have to worry about with this one. So we're almost to 500 degrees, guys. So as soon as that oven beeps, we'll go ahead and get her going. So the next thing you want to do, we did it backwards with the last one, is we're going to go ahead and get our sauce. I actually did step 2 before I did step 1, which made it really hot. Hold on for me 1 second. So we'll take our sauce. Now use any brand sauce you want. We make our own pizza sauce, so we're going to use that. Yes, ma'am. Huh? Yeah, I'm making another pizza. Now, you don't want to over sauce. Be careful, honey. Thank you. Yeah, you get too much sauce on there, you know, your dough will soak it up start soaking it up before it even bakes. Yeah, you want a nice blend. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess you can put as much or as little sauce on it as you like. I personally like a little extra sauce, you know, but not too much. Problem with too much sauce, in my opinion, is it causes everything to slide off when you take it out of the oven. Let me grab the cheese real quick. Put the cheese on there. Now what we're going to do, as soon as we get our pizza topped, and you can top it with, obviously, anything you like. This is grated mozzarella. And then I've got some pepperoni, some mushrooms, some onions, some green peppers, some sausage. But after I get this topped, we're going to stick it on the stovetop, or, well, in my case, my gas burner. So that way we can give the bottom a head start. That's why we put the oil in there. Because if not, you run the risk of your top being done before your bottom. Now, if you buy a frozen pizza, those pizzas already, they've already par-baked the crust. And if you go to a pizza shop, the way their ovens are set up, you know, well, depending. I mean, if it's like a fire brick oven pizza shop, they put it on a pizza stone that's already hot, so it automatically just sears that bottom. If you they have like an air frying oven, they use slotted pizza pans. They have holes in them, and the air comes up from the bottom and the top to bake it real quick. You know, so, but since we don't have that in our homes, or at least most people don't, and we don't have a stone oven, we'll put this on the stovetop, on the range, and put it on medium high and heat that up, so that way it'll cook the bottom before the top gets cooked.
No.
And then that way,
In a different milk.
it'll be nice and even with a crispy crust. Now with the one that they just got done with, I went ahead and did the crust before we did the sauce and the cheese, and that one's just pepperoni. Which, if I'd have thought about it beforehand, we'd have done it this way, but we didn't. And it's okay; it won't affect the taste or the flavor one iota.
Do I need to season it?
So we get mushrooms. You can, green peppers. You know, you could also put some garlic on here. You can, I mean, the topping possibilities are endless. I know at my work, I mean, we have 27 different toppings to choose from. You know, you can put chicken on this. You can do an olive oil instead of a pizza sauce. You can do like an Alfredo sauce if that's something you so choose. There really is. The possibilities are really endless. And then the sausage I'm putting on here, we just fried it ahead of time and ground it up. And then what I don't use tonight, I'll use tomorrow for breakfast. I'll throw it in a miga or something like that, which is it's a breakfast casserole. That is absolutely awesome. All right, so let me get my burner. Put this on here, kick it on, and I'm gonna let this go on medium high for about 2 to 4 minutes. That last one took 3 or 4 minutes because you want to get the cast iron nice and hot. And like I said, you'll know. Just lift it with a spatula or a pair of tongs, which is why I got the tongs sitting here. You know, after a couple minutes and check it out. I mean, you'll notice the dough will start to get firm, like it's starting to get crispy. And that'll be about the time to put it in the oven. All right, well, I'm going to get this one crisped up. And when I come back, we'll put it in the oven and talk about putting it in the oven. All right, see you here in just one more. Okay, so I let this go for about 3 minutes. And now when it comes to the crust bottom, I'll see if I can get it up here so I can show it to you. See if I can get us up in there good enough to see it. I don't think you can, but what you're looking for is a nice golden brown crust, or however you like your crust. By the way, Ugg Glove, freaking awesome. I've been wanting one of these forever. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my 500-degree oven, right next to my other pizza. And I've already got the timer running for the other one, so I'll just add to it when that one's done. But let's talk about what we're doing with it. Okay, so we're down to the final steps, all right? Making a pizza actually goes pretty quick, even homemade. The long part is just the waiting on the dough to rise. And there's quick rise recipes out there. I've never tried one. They've got them anywhere from like 15 minutes to 12 to 24 hours to let it sit. I see, honey. You're goofy. Yeah. But this one seems like a pretty standard one. And I got my oven at 500 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm going to let those cook for about 7 to 10 minutes. Just start looking at them. You know, after about 6-7 minutes, start looking at them. You know, is it golden brown on top? Is it how you like it? You know, if you like it well done, make it well done. If you like it light baked, make it light baked. I'm going to shoot for 7-8 minutes. I'd like to see, you know, just a nice golden brown across the top. So when I come back, we'll take a look at them and see how they turned out. All right, be right back. All right, so the timer just went off for the second pizza. Turn that off, turn the oven off. All right, let me get you back down here so you can see what's going on. So now we're down to the final steps. Now, like anything else in the world, you got to let it sit for a minute. Remember, we're pulling these out of the oven at 500 degrees. So please be careful when you're making these. So we'll go ahead and get that out of the oven. There is the pizza we just created right there. Absolutely gorgeous looking. Here is Abby's creation right here in pepperoni. Absolutely beautiful. We did let this one sit for a minute. But it's still hot. I mean, at 500 degrees doesn't go away anytime soon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and transfer these onto a baking sheet. Yeah, I'm just going to make sure that we're good to go. Look at that, just slides right out. No fuss, no muss. Ugh. Get a little bit of that excess oil out of there. Now, if you're using cast iron, it's actually really good for your cast iron. That oil is just soaking it up. You know, now what we're going to do is we're going to let these sit for a minute and rest, calm down, just like anything else. And then when I come right back, we're going to cut some pizza and have a taste. All right, see you in a second. So we got it. We let it cool for a few. Got it out of the pan. Like I said, they just slide right out for the most part. You may have to, depend on how much cheese you put on it, take a spatula around the edge of it. But then after that, it just slides right out. So we'll go ahead. I got it cut using the pizza cutter. If you don't have a pizza cutter, you can just use a big wheel. Look at that cheese. I love cheese. All right. And there we are. Check that out. Oh yeah, looking good, I think. Here, ma'am, you may take that to the kitchen table. Everybody's really hungry and waiting on me. So let me get this up here so we can talk about it. So, yeah, anytime we go out of town, we eat pizza, a local pizza place, doesn't matter where out of town, to try their pizza. I am all about crust. And I said, this is a new crust recipe, so we're about to give it a shot. Toppings are kind of toppings. I know what the pizza sauce on this tastes like. We made it. So that's good. Another thing to look for in pizza, see how I'm holding that up? And it's pie cut shaped. Okay, it's triangle. If it doesn't flop, that means it's good. See the bottom of that? See how it's got a nice golden brown crust? Amazing so far. But let's see how it tastes. That's a good crust.
Mm-hmm.
That really is a good crust. It's got a nice crunch to it. Yet the inside of it is got a nice fluff to it. Not thick, not thin. That's what I like. I am not like the pan pizzas, the thick crust, deep dish pizzas. Well, not deep dish, but thick crust. Deep dish I like. They're putting a real deep cast iron skillet or a metal skillet and formed like a pie, like you would for pie filling, and then they just fill it with sauce, meat, cheese, and vegetables, and it's like 3 inches thick of nothing but filling, and those are amazing. They're Chicago's real big for that. So anyhow, this was really good. I would definitely recommend trying this this crust. It doesn't take a whole lot of time as far as crust go. It's really easy, only a few ingredients, and it turns out very well, and it's fun. I mean, like Abby got to make her pizza. So it's something you could do with your family or your boyfriend or girlfriend or husband, wife, whatever you choose. So, that being said, I'm going to go eat. Let me know what you think of this. If you try it, let me know. If you like it, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. If you'd like to see different crusts being made, let me know. I'll do some more up. If you want to see a thicker crust, I'll make a thicker crust. We have a recipe for it. But let me know either way. All right? I'm going to go eat dinner. I love you. I love you very much. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Tell somebody else you love them. Love them very much. Take them a piece of pizza. I guarantee they'll like it. And you'll make a friend. Or reassure your friendship with somebody else. So tomorrow, we're going to do a yellow cake with chocolate frosting. Whether we do it cupcake form, sheet pan, double layer, I don't know yet. But I really want a yellow cake with some chocolate icing. So we'll figure out what form we're going to do tomorrow. All right? Until tomorrow. Love you. Take care. Bye.